we are going to do some tests today. I finally have both of my 5 inches flying, and last time I tried to do some long range, I ran into some issues. Video problems trying out someone else's goggles, and I ended up crashing. Got the quad back. I had pushed out like 1.5 miles, was able to get back near to myself with no video, and I still have the quad. I still have it. So I got it all rebuilt. Totally broke the plate, one of these plates. Arms were totally fine. Everything else was fine. Smoked an ESC. I got a new ESC. 2 motors were bad, but we got it running. So in order to just have a baseline for going long range with this Project 399 Super G, we're gonna time some packs. We're gonna also test some props. So right now I have these T-Motor 5143s. They don't have a lot of area, but I know they have a more advanced aerodynamic design. The props I usually always fly are Dahl Cyclones. I've changed their pitch as I've flown, but now I really like the 5046s. So I'm gonna fly 2 1300 milliamp packs. These 2 packs are relatively brand new. We're gonna see how long each of the different props lasts, landing with the exact same milliamp hours drawn. And so that way I could figure out which prop is going to be better for cruising longer range. I do have to say I do like the Dahl Cyclone a little better. It feels grippier to me. But if I'm going long range and I need efficiency, it's nice to know which is good. That way I got a good baseline to see, how long I could push out for how long and still come back safely. And and then once you get in the field, do wind measurements, all that stuff, so you can safely get a quad back. Okay, we just made it to the park. We got the quads in tow. Now we're gonna go ahead and do some of those tests that I was talking about. Checking batteries, which prop is more efficient when cruising on a 5.9 or on a Project 399 Super G. Jesus Christ, I can't fucking talk today. Okay. Absolutely beautiful day out here. As much as winter flying sucks because your hands can get cold and things like that, I kind of enjoy it because usually I don't fly here because this is where everyone in the neighborhood takes their dogs. There's usually a baseball game over there. It's usually pretty busy. So actually now that it's winter, not a lot of people are coming out, even though it's a really nice, really warm 40 degrees Fahrenheit today. Just a quick note. Wintertime flying's great. Never stop. Never stop. Okay, we just switched over to the Dahl Cyclones. Just flew a pack on the T-Motor props. Went good. We're pulling very low amps. Like I was cruising about 50% throttle all around the park here, and I was only pulling like 12, 15 if I was like pulling out of like a easy dive. But really like the amp draw on those. Let's see how they compare to the Cyclones. That flight lasted like 5 minutes and 10 seconds. And on the OSD, we ran down to about 1100 milliamp hours drawn. So that's what I'm gonna aim for on this pack. Okay, here's what I found. So keep in mind, take this with a grain of salt, because I've only flown 2 packs and I didn't have any sort of speed indication. I was just trying to cruise at what felt like the same speed, kind of same angle in the camera, and I flew a very similar line, just kind of across the trees there, kind of just back and forth, and then kind of looping through the park. Nothing crazy. What I noticed though, okay, and it makes a lot of sense too, the higher pitch Dall cyclones went faster. So I was cruising at 40% instead of 50%, going at the same attitude and what felt like the same speed. But they did feel a little grippier than the T-motor props. And the big thing is staying at the same amp draw with the T-motors. Again, I was at 10% less throttle, and I lasted an entire minute more. I flew 6 minutes on a 1300 milliamp just cruising with the Cyclones, and just over 5 minutes with the T-motors. There's just so much more surface area on these props, and they do have a higher pitch, which is conducive to cruising. When you cruise, it's like shifting gears. You want to grab, like on a car, you want to grab more pavement for each rotation of the engine. Similar when cruising on a quad. You want to grab more air for each rotation of the motor. So that higher pitch, to a degree, is more conducive to cruising. And that's something you do in an airplane with a constant speed prop, and it seems to have proven itself here. Yeah, I got a whole extra minute on the Cyclones. Again, it's not a great, very scientific test, but just for what I'm doing, I'm sticking with the Cyclones.